So you want to know how to shoot cinematic reels with your phone? Follow me. I'm not an expert in cinematic reels, but because this is YouTube, I have to sound like an expert. Hopefully you'll still learn something from this video. But if there's one thing that I like to talk about, it's cinema. I think everyone is using the word cinematic incorrectly.
Bruh.
This is probably going to spark a war in the comments, but hear me out.
Hello, I'm the freshest in the place. When it laps with my vibe and you can't keep the pace.
So, if you have any interest in the photography or the videography world, you've probably heard of the word cinematic. But what does cinematic even mean? Quite a broad definition, but it's already starting to solve the problem. Ooh. Now, how are you going to make something that makes you want to sit down in a large empty room and start eating popcorn? How are you going to make something so great that it replicates the feeling of being in the cinema theater? Is it the cinematography, the sound design, or the popcorn? Now, every single movie that you have watched has one thing in common. Doesn't matter if you cried, laughed, or got a jump scare. All these feelings come from one place. Now, let's watch something. You know, it's moments like this that are truly cinematic. And I think it comes from a story. It doesn't matter how cool your shot is or how interesting your color grade is. If you don't have a story, then it's not truly cinematic. I might be wrong about the cinematic thing, but let's try and prove it and make something with my phone. Let's see if it can be cinematic. I'm back. I just shot and edited the short video that I shot with my phone. So let's give it a watch and see how it turned out.
Yep, that's me, yelling at my laptop. You may be wondering how I got here. Well, my day went like any other day. Doing my work, sending out emails like a boss. Look at my boy, sending that mail. Hold on, man. You can't go on your phone right now. You need to put in the work, my guy. So usually we don't take breaks. But I mean, sometimes you gotta refresh and refocus when you work really hard. You know, before jumping back into the grind. Hey man, what do you think you're doing? You don't drink coffee like everyone else. Make some tea, something else, be different. We're meant to swim against the current. Back on the grind again, pumping out those emails. Damn, we're good. Can you please shut up? Are you serious right now? Bro, you're the star of this show. You're annoying and I need you to stop. I can't stop, my man. I am you. I am here forever.
Okay, great. So that's just a simple, really to the point little video that we shot with the phone. I didn't want to overcomplicate it or make it too crazy. I wanted to shoot it here in the office. How did we go about making this video? The first step that I did is I actually went and I wrote a little script just so that I know what I want to do before I go and shoot. This is something I think will make all videos much better. Then on the technical side, what I did to prepare for the shoot is I made sure that I am using the phone to its best abilities. What I did is I made sure I am shooting in Apple ProRes, and I made sure that I'm shooting in 24 frames per second or 25 frames per second, depending on where you are in the world. Just because that is the most natural looking kind of video with the most natural motion blur. And if you are shooting anything that is fast motion like sports or action intensity, then you would use a higher frame rate. also if you want to shoot something in slow-mo. It was important to get audio into my phone for this video. I made sure that I use proper audio equipment. I used the DJI mics that connects via Bluetooth, which is really handy. But for some reason, iPhone, the native camera app, isn't compatible with that feature yet. So I used the Blackmagic camera app, which worked really well to have the ability to change all your settings and so on. I could change my ISO, I could change my shutter angle, I could change my white balance. So that is really handy. And if you want to shoot more cinematic style or story driven things, I think having control of your camera settings is key. So that's what I did on the technical side for my phone. And then I went into the edit and I played around a little bit. I didn't do anything crazy. You don't want to change too much. You just want to elevate and enhance the story that you already have and that you prepared. The most technical thing that I ran into was the color grading. I haven't done much color grading with phone footage before, so this was new for me as well, and it was interesting to work with. For this shot where our character was raging, I knew I wanted to shoot in slow-mo. When I changed the iPhone to slow-mo to 60 frames per second 4K, I couldn't shoot in Apple ProRes anymore. The color space of the footage changed and was different to the rest of the footage, and that made matching a little bit more difficult. So what happened was we did some research and we found out that the iPhone records in a color space of Rec 2020. I did a simple transform from Rec 2020 to Rec 709 to make sure that it is going through the correct process. And then I did my grade within that, made sure that it matches with my Apple ProRes footage, which took some time. My color grading process, not very complicated. I started just with a base grade, some contrast, added some saturation, added some film grain, just because the iPhone footage is so sharp. I kind of just wanted to take that sharpness down a little bit and add grain. And then I added my look in my log reels. So that is how I shot a little cinematic with my phone. Not too complicated, and I think you don't have to make it too complicated. You just need to put in a little bit of extra work in the beginning of your shoot by writing a little script and preparing your shoot a little bit more. And then you can have a nice little cinematic video. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. This video is cinematic, and I don't think it has to be a crazy wild location shoot. You just have to make sure that you are telling a story, and on the technical side there are a few things that you need to consider, but at the end of the day, if you're telling a story, you have a cinematic video. Awesome. Thank you for joining in on this video. If you liked it, please subscribe, and if you like it, like it. Goodbye, and I hope I never see you again. Cheers.